All right, Grant, here we go. It's part of our continuing Table Talk series, hashtag smaller problems for smaller players, or hashtag you never know. I'm seeing what
you're just
goes
adding.
on.
You're just adding hashtags left and right.
Yeah, all it takes is one, So
Smaller
we're playing
problems for smaller players. Do you mean smaller stakes or smaller in stature? Like you have to be under 5'9" or something.
I'm talking about literally you are not that tall.
Okay.
Yes. Or you could have been born tall but had some sort of thresher accident.
Oh,
These
okay.
things do happen, and I don't want to pretend they don't. Okay. So
Thanks for being inclusive.
You're welcome. We're playing 25-50 on clubs. Here's a hand that happened. I remember it now. All right, we have an under the gun limp because, of course, we're seven-handed in this one. We're in the small blind with ace of clubs, jack of hearts. The button is going to limp as well. We've got our ace jack. Of course, we're going to raise it, Grant. How much would you make it?
Let's see. Everybody's got almost 100 blinds as the effective stack. So 2 limps. I think I want to make it like 6 blinds or 7 blinds.
Okay, so like 350, something like that.
Yeah.
I think I end up going a little smaller. I make it 3, so I go 6 blinds. All right. So I did what you did. I did what you said. The big blind folds. We do get the original limper calls, and so does the button. So we're 3 ways to this pot. There's 9.5 in there. We're out of position to everyone with the ace of clubs and the jack of hearts. The flop comes out. King, queen, 8, rainbow.
Yeah,
no clubs, by the way.
Yeah, no clubs, which is the bummer of the rainbow because you can't rep the nut flush if it comes in later.
We do have a gutter to the nuts.
I mean, they both limp called, so their ranges are inclusive of a lot of suited connectors and small pocket pairs. So I don't mind on this being a rainbow board. We're never folding out Jack 10 anyway, so I want to bet small and just clean up equity and fold out a few better hands. So I think I want to bet something like 4 into 9.5.
Cool,
something like that.
I definitely bet. This feels like my board to bet. Let's see how much I make it. I make it 4.5. Okay, whatever. Basically the same thing. One more blind. We get an immediate fold from the original limper. The button does not fold and calls instead. We're going to the turn with 18.5 in there.
Come play with the Poker Guys on Clubs Poker using the code POKERGUYS. We've been playing there for a while, and I got to tell you, it's a good site. I'm enjoying myself on the site, Jonathan.
Yeah, I play a lot there, and I will say a few things. One, the software is excellent. It's smooth. It works great. They pay out quickly and efficiently, and the games are fabulous, Grant. Just fabulous. Everyone should be on this site for sure.
Use the code POKERGUYS for a 100% deposit bonus. So let's range them a little bit. I mean, I feel like they might have some 8-9 suited for bottom pair. They might have a couple of pocket pairs that are being sticky. We obviously block Jack 10, but they limp called the button on clubs at 25-50, so they might have all combos of Jack 10.
Yeah.
So that's 12 combos still that they have of Jack 10 that make a lot of sense. I guess they could have some Ace 10 and Ace Jack themselves. That would be nuts, but why not? And probably a little bit of Queen Jack, Queen 10, Queen 9, stuff like that. And maybe a little bit of like weak suited kings is my guess.
I think so. That sounds pretty reasonable to me. All right, the turn is the king of diamonds. So it brings a second king and a second diamond.
I'm not loving it. Like, are they going to fold a queen? They'll probably fold an 8. If they were getting sticky with a pocket pair, they'll fold that. If they have Jack 10, they should fold that. Those things are all pretty good. But they do have some kings in their range. And, of course, I don't know if they're going to ever fold a queen at this point. So that's problematic.
I don't know that they're really folding Jack 10 anyway if we bet enough. But if we bet like a normal amount,
maybe
half 60% pot or half pot or something like that, which is probably all I bet on this card in this spot if I was betting. I do decide to bet, and I'm trying to decide how much. It looks like I'm going pretty small here, mainly just to keep my options open. And I actually find you do fold out a lot of things, even when you go small, because it's such a scary, polarizing card. Like if you have a queen, you're just drawing dead a lot now.
Yeah,
right?
I like a small bet here. I mean, I think a queen is probably not going to fold, but I think they wouldn't fold for a bigger bet with similar frequency. So I think it's good.
Cool. So I go 555 into 18.5. We get a call really quickly. Which doesn't feel amazing.
The snap call, it could be a tell. I don't know anything about this player. I don't know if you do, but Snap calls often mean please don't bet again.
Yep.
If it's an amateur player.
Yep. It can mean that for sure. So, okay, we got 29.5 in there. I'm the effective stack with 38. The river is the ace of diamonds. Oh, my God. We went backdoor to hit top
Another
pair.
good news, bad news card.
Yeah, exactly. King, queen, 8, king, ace, running diamonds make 3 diamonds. There's 29.5 in there. What do you want to do?
I don't think we can bet. We're chopping with all aces.
Yep.
The only reason to bet is to try to bluff out a chop, which the ace of diamonds means there's not that many left. Like, I guess because you bet so small, maybe they have ace 10 still. Maybe.
I guess. Maybe.
Jack 10 obviously got there. Backdoor diamonds, which could be 8x of diamonds, got there. I guess maybe Jack 9 of diamonds, too, is a possibility because you don't have the Jack of diamonds.
Yeah, that's possible.
Or 9, 10 of diamonds. I think we want to just check and hope it goes check, check. That's my big plan here.
That was my plan, too. I definitely check. Which is, I'm like, man, that's not a great card, even though we improve. It is not going to go check, check, I'm sad to say. Instead, he's going to bet 22 into 29.5. And,
all right, well,
yeah.
Against players that I know are pros that I play against a lot, I can find a way to putting them on queen jack with a jack of diamonds or something like that, where they have like the nut flush blocker and they block full houses. That's a cool bluff. But I don't think a lot of players have that in their arsenal.
Yeah.
My concern is maybe they do have ace 10 or maybe something like ace 8 even. I don't know. I didn't consider that before. And are just like betting because they have an ace and don't know what's going on. Then we don't want to fold against that. But
yeah. Seems not super likely, though, right? Like with the kings there, and I went bet. When they have to hold on with ace 8 on the turn, even though I bet small. 2, they have to decide to bet here when it's such a easy check back with that hand where, like, you win enough of the time, you would think, anyway.
Yeah.
Like, they might be just betting because they're like, ooh, ace, go! Or I never would think that they're trying to bluff me off a hand like I have with a worse ace, like in a million years, right? So it is not impossible that they have like ace 10 or ace 8 or something like that, but I don't think it's super likely, I will say.
I mean, if the snap call was a please don't bet again, that means they usually have a queen or an 8. But if it wasn't a please don't bet again, like I don't feel like Jack 10 is a please don't bet again hand. It's like a tank a little bit and call hand. But that tell might be inaccurate for this player at this point.
Yeah.
So Jack 10 feels like the hand based on how it's played out. It just feels like Jack 10.
And sometimes it's king X, which is also a big problem.
Yeah.
So I decided to. It sounds like we're coming to the same conclusion, I think, which was that even though I made top pair and it looks like a pretty good card to hit in theory, it probably isn't that good that when he decides to bet this much of the pot after going call, right? Like, it's just hard to come up with any bluffs, and I shouldn't be able to beat any value. I guess I chop maybe with the tiniest bit of value that's really going for it, but I don't even know if they choose that kind of size. So I just decided to let it go.
All right. And we'll never know what they had, huh?
We'll never know. They didn't windmill it in my face, so I guess that's good. They can. There's a windmill option.
I think it's a good fold. It's just sad that we don't get to know.
I know. So sad.
Tired of being tired of being sick. In my head 24/7, how I'm supposed to pay the rent. Mr. Practice, I don't play. Friday nights we on the bench. Trying to come up with a play. If it don't work, then hit it lick. Swift knocking at my door. Praying ain't tell. I'm studying her word prayer. Baby excel. Got away with way too much. Should've got expelled. But the school saw my potential. Smart kid trying to rebel. Yeah.